and how much we can't. Welcome back. I had a mentor back in the day, way back when, who said he had an interesting way of putting this, but he said, when somebody's going down the tubes, grease them. When somebody's going down the tubes, grease them because you've observed people when they're in the downward spiral, they're going down the rabbit hole. You might have been this very person, but there was a time where there was just, why really delay the bottom anymore? Uh, you're going to hit it. And in the recovery movement, there's this interesting ticket that one has to purchase to get all the promises and the goodness and the light and the love and the healing and the sanity and the well-being of recovery. But I believe this is true for all humans because this is a recovery planet. Earth is just it's an interesting planet in a curious solar system in a certain kind of galaxy where souls go to do recovery work. And by that, I mean the discovery of who they really are. We're all kind of in this tug of war between our higher divine selves and our lower mortal selves, and it is a tug of war. Now, of course, a tug of war describes a movement between two different points, and it's rather obvious the two different points for us are the higher pole and the lower one. But if somebody's going down the tubes, grease them because you just got to hit the bottom. And the bottom is the ticket in. It's the rude awakening. All spiritual experiences, all spiritual awakenings are preceded by a rude awakening. So by this I mean it's the good news of pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. You would never say that to somebody while they're in it, but you could recognize and you could feel for their soul, and you could tell them in coded language that it's only going to get better from here. So I believe each and every one of you listening to this understands this principle, and that we know how bad it can get when it's getting bad. We know there's no bottom to that until the universe, God, love, source, the love and the power of God comes to get us and issues a citation, a moment of clarity. But once we know that we've honestly done that and we are doing the possible, we're walking upright, we know that, and we can know even more, there's a great momentum of good coming our way. I don't know where it says this in any of the world scripture, but I know it says it somewhere. And if it hasn't been said yet, I'm saying it. But the blessings will chase us down and tackle us. And of course, this is a great feature of the story of the prodigal son. God comes out, runs out to get us. And so while our momentum may seem slow sometimes, sometimes we're trudging the escalator of happy destiny. There's this stirring up of this hope and faith and understanding that by doing the possible every single day to the degree that we can, that such a momentum of good is beginning to percolate inside of us, and it's only a matter of time, and we can just have this underlying generalized sense of optimism and well-being that all these different momentums are adding up into one great momentum. And we know the law of physics so beautifully coalesce with the law of metaphysics in that objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Somebody's going down the tubes, that's the direction. But when you're going up the tubes, well, here's a new saying. When somebody's going up the tubes, grease them, because the resistance falls away, the intelligence increases, the light and love amplifies, and we're all swept up into, well, I'm going to call it what it is, rapture. Now, the word rapture comes from the same Latin root word as the word raptor. What's a raptor? A raptor is a very, very large bird of prey. And if you've ever seen like the talons on a vulture or an owl, they are designed to do something. They are designed to swoop down and pick something up. One time when I was living in a little cottage in Danville, I was looking in my backyard. There was the cutest squirrel. He was having the time of his life. And then in a flash of an eye, a giant probably a hawk, came by, and that squirrel was suddenly in a brand new reality. He was experiencing rapture. He was being picked up and swept up. Now, I'm saying that was that the worst example ever? But we're being all rapture. We're all being drawn up in a vacuum, a strong sucking power of well-being, a whirlwind of good. And it's not up to you to be that whirlwind or to make it or be that great vacuuming power. It's just to cooperate, align, and get in the right place where it can come and get you. So, in the car behind you is a tailgater with blinking lights saying, "Pull over. I've got all your blessings for you. Get out. Let me tackle you and love you." And I hope that made sense and sparked your faith and love and light. And we'll talk about it tomorrow in our famous Friday meeting. Have a beautiful day, everybody.